Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you what a real week of trading should look like for a profitable trader. Not just wins, but losses, potential mistakes, and even other opportunities presented, because no retail trader, investor, or even institution is perfect no matter how profitable they are. And it's very rare for people to show that side of trading. So we actually just had a pretty interesting week because we had one good setup for every day of the week, starting off here with NASDAQ. I think everyone watching knows by now that I've sent out like every live trade over the past year and a bit, so I'm not going to make a thing out of it. You know, I just want to be transparent, but this trade here was very clean. I would probably rate this as an A setup, which I'll explain exactly why. So if we zoom out here, we can immediately notice one thing, and that is that we have come from quite a bearish trend here, at least quite recently on the 5-minute, and we have actually dropped quite heavily, especially recently with this massive drop right here. And what do we know about just every market? Well, it's never going to move in a straight line, so chances are it's not just going to keep going bearish, it's likely going to at least correct this move right here. Even if we're not going to go fully bullish, there is a very good chance that we will come up to that area before then continuing bearish. So in this case, I was taking advantage of that and I was looking for buy positions because I know that price is most likely going to fill in this area. So after a little bit of confirmation, just by seeing general breaks of highs and failures at literally every single low, I was pretty confident to take a buy position when one was presented. So in terms of direction, I'd definitely call this A+, but the one thing that is not A+ about this setup is this weak break of structure at the top. If you don't know, I trade a variant of supply and demand where we have a level of liquidity in front of our zones, and as you can see right here, we shot off really nicely, very strong move to the upside. So right here we have a very clear zone where investors, institutions, whatever, they will have been left out because we moved off so quickly. And then instead of coming straight down to our zone, we instead made a retracement, forming a level of liquidity right here. We even came down one more time before actually breaking the high to the left, and that is everything we need. Literally all we need for our setups is a big push off, a level of liquidity, and a break of structure. And then once we come to our zone, it pretty much just shoots off. And yeah, in this case, we had a very nice level of liquidity. You can see this formed a proper swing low. We even, you know, came down and formed another one right here, which never took this liquidity to the left. So that's just more liquidity building up. And then, like I said, we broke past the high, but this was only by a wick. Now, the reason I actually don't mind this at all, even though it's just a wick break of structure, is because we went quite a lot above the wick. Sorry, above the high. Now, generally, if we were to just break the high by like half a pip like this and then come down, a lot of the time, this looks more like kind of a double top, which will often just, you know, start moving bearish from there, or just a slight liquidity grab where we're taking the liquidity from this high and then moving down. But in this case, we went quite a lot above it. It was clearly just breaking the high. This looks like a news candle. It was at 130. So this is very normal market movement. We clearly just wanted to break that high before coming down to this zone to give investors a better price. Actually, wait, I forgot US times changed, so I think this was actually New York Stock Exchange open. But yeah, after that, we came down to the zone of straight bearish candles, which means price needs to retrace. Price isn't just going to go straight bearish candles forever, especially when we're in a short-term bullish market and we have a lot of gaps to fill over here. So from tapping our zone, we got a very clear rejection. We had a bullish close, which is where I entered. Well, I waited for the next candle because it was a new 1-hour candle. So I waited for the bottom wick to get created to fill in some orders, then entered, got a really nice candle off the start, and then it came down a bunch, actually retested the zone, but then it went straight to TP. And in terms of TP placement for this one, I just went for a 1 to 3. Now generally I do go for 1 to 4s, but with me now trading futures for the 5-minute, you get a much lower drawdown than you did on Forex accounts. Plus it's very common to have a consistency rule. Plus at this time, this was last week, there was a war going on and I just wanted to take my profits and then kind of get out of the markets, even though I did believe this could go for a much higher risk to reward, which you can see it definitely did. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of students actually did take this for the 1 to 4 anyway, so good job to everybody. This was quite a clean trade. Now this was the trade that we had on Monday, and following that up, we actually had an interesting trade on Tuesday, which was a re-entry. Once again, pretty much everyone was taking this. This is a very clean setup right here, very clear level of liquidity in front of the zone, very good price. It's the bottom zone, so investors are getting the best price, we're taking out the most liquidity, and we're in the most need of a retracement. So as you saw, pretty much all this price action is pretty much just an extension of the previous day. We are still very bullish, as we could kind of predict. So this is looking really good to take a buy position from here. We were still very clearly breaking highs like these to the left. We had even more levels of liquidity in front of the zone. We're taking this out, we're taking this out, and then immediately reaching our zone, reacting very nicely, giving a bullish close, which I did take, but unfortunately it did fake out on this first entry. So for most strategies going for 1-to-1s or whatever, they would have to take this loss, maybe they'll re-enter and then get another 1-to-1, and then you'll pretty much break even on the day. But for us, in a situation like this where we take a re-entry, we're not just risking being 2% down or break even, we're risking being 2% down or being plus 3% on the day, which is why the strategy is so powerful and, in my opinion, so much easier to become profitable with. Now, obviously, risk to reward can definitely vary. Once again, with futures rules and stuff, going for one-to-ones isn't like the worst thing ever, but I'd highly recommend going above one-to-one simply because it is just very difficult to be profitable with one-to-ones. But anyway, I'm waffling. We then re-entered the zone, gave another very clear bullish close. Generally, I don't like re-entering trades, I'll be honest, but in a situation like this where we came deeper into the zone and still flipped bullish really nicely on a new 30-minute candle, this was just like the cleanest opportunity ever to take a re-entry, so I did with simple 1 to 4 targets. This is generally what I go for. And yeah, this is just another 3% day. Trading really does not have to be that complicated. I'm sure you've kind of understood everything that I've said so far, even if you're fairly new or like you're just learning the strategy. Shit does not have to be that hard. We're just rinsing, repeating the exact same setups and just being disciplined to not take the shit ones. I mean, I guess that really is the hardest part. Now, this trade on screen I actually did not take, and I'll explain why, but I did take some more on the week, so I'll get to that after. But because there was an extremely clean trade for every day of the week, I thought I'd just kind of show some missed opportunities as well. Now, this was actually on ES or S&P 500, which is pretty much like an extension of NAS 100. It's really clean. I've done a bunch of live back testing with the mentees and the coaching calls, and the results so far are pretty crazy. We've also forward tested a bunch of setups, and it's like 3 for 3. So this was actually the trade that made it an official pair. Now, I can still do more back testing if you guys want a back testing video on it, maybe. I'm not sure if you guys are still trying to see them. Do let me know in the comments, or if there's anything else you want to see, of course. But this trade was so fucking clean. This is like about as A+ as it gets, really. Maybe not completely in terms of direction, but I mean, if we look at recent price action, we are making very large structure to the downside, as well as having, you know, internal structure look very bearish. So there's not really much to say against taking a sell in this situation. And the setup is just very A+. In a case like this, you would just kind of most likely take the setup anyway. We shot down really nicely. Obviously, people are going to be left out here. People are going to have their remaining orders there. Really nice level of liquidity, just a very clear swing high. This is like the most obvious swing until all the way up here. Like even these ones aren't quite as big. So that is going to be a very desirable level of liquidity to take out before we reach this good price for investors. We then came down really cleanly, breaking the low. We then came up with really nice price action, not any like bullish market structure or anything. Like, we are just straight bullish candles. We need to retrace. This is just gaps to fill at this point, and just a bearish close entry was extremely clean for this. You could have technically taken like a flip, I guess, because this is a new 1 hour candle here, but I'd just say this is a better bearish close entry, or maybe break of candle, but it's pretty much the same thing. And as for targets, you could have targeted a 1 to 3, you could have targeted a 1 to 4. It would have, I mean, won either way. So yeah, just an extremely clean trade. I'm not going to break this down too much because I actually didn't take it myself. It was just a bunch of students that took it. But for the last missed opportunity that I actually didn't take, before I get into the last one I did take, this EU setup happened on Thursday, so we've got one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday so far. Now, this one I didn't take just out of purposes of quality. It just wasn't quite quality enough for me. You can see liquidity was like a decent distance away. I think we even then took the liquidity right here. We reacted bearish from it and then came up later. So I was just like, we took liquidity like a few hours ago. Does price really care too much anymore? Especially when it's like, you know, a decent distance from the zone considering how small structure is. But it did get a really nice reaction. It was technically valid. The break of structure at the lows wasn't that nice either. But I consider this maybe a B+ setup, maybe a B setup. Definitely valid to have taken. Price action after tapping the zone was just gorgeous. And in terms of direction, this was also very nice. We're in a very bearish trend. We're reacting from other liquidity supply zones on the way down. And I mean, it was making the most beautiful like bearish price action. So yeah, can't really complain. If you did take this, I mean, good shit. Just for me, it wasn't quite quality enough for me to want to take. So by this point, I was 6% up with about like 8% in missed profits just because of, I mean, those other two trades. But you do have to understand, 6% is a very good week. I'm not making 6% every single week. That's not how trading works. I don't think anybody's making 6% every single week. That's absurd. So this was overall a very good week, and I ended it, unfortunately, on a loser. This is like completely fine. Still 5% up on the week. That is still a very, very good week. Typical profitable investors and retail traders aim for around 3% per month, so a 5% week is, I mean, amazing. But we had pretty high trade frequency this week, so I thought it'd be an interesting one to break down, and this one included is extremely nice. Now, this is my first actual live trade on ES, so quite unfortunate that it was a loser, but literally every trade I've forward tested on it has been a winner, so yeah, just kind of unfortunate timing. But Overall, extremely bearish trend, extremely nice positioning in my opinion. Literally all of these like swings are pretty much the same size as this swing. This just looks perfect for it. In fact, this setup looks almost identical to the one that won on Wednesday, 2 days before. And in this case, it does look like it ended up continuing this overall, bearish trend. But it for some reason broke this high first, which, I mean, I wouldn't have predicted personally. But that is completely fine. We had a very nice level of liquidity in front of this zone. We had some very clean breaks of structure, as I was just showing. Decent movement up. You could consider this as like a demand reaction on the way up, but it's really not that deep. Like overall, it's pretty solid movement up. We kind of expect these small retracements and a pretty solid reaction from the zone as well. This is an 11:05 candle, so this was the new 1 hour. A lot of the time, if we move off this strongly on a new 1 hour candle, it's just filling in more orders to the upside to push off downwards really strongly. And we did it first, but unfortunately this did lose soon after. But so far ES is looking pretty good. Might do a backtesting video on it. I literally haven't finished 2025 yet. But if you did get some value from this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Follow the Instagram. I've actually been posting like daily on there recently, which is pretty crazy. Just something to do, I guess. And yeah, if you want to work with me, you can check the link in the description. But that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.